right, guys, happy Friday. Similar to what we did on Monday with our front squats, we're going to do today with our deadlift. So it's going to be 5 sets every 2 minutes. The first 3 sets will be a heavy set of 3, and then we're going to go down to a tempo version for the last 2 sets. All right, so for these deadlifts, we don't want to do touch and go. We want to rest on the ground each time. So feet right under the hips. Set your grip up. Remember, if it's hard holding on to the bar, you can switch one hand over. But main thing here, we want to have tension in the hamstrings. Shins are vertical. Back is flat. Stand up. Squeeze your butt. Back at the bottom. And then pause for a second. Okay. Always working hard to keep that back nice and flat. Good finish at the top. Okay. The thing here, if you have tight hamstrings or struggle to get into a good position at the bottom, if you have a rounded back, the 2 recommendations we always give. One is the sumo stance. So if you stand wider, this allows you to drop your butt more, gets a little bit more work in the quads, less on the low back if you have that issue. The other is to just start with the barbell higher. So you can use plates or some boxes, like jerk box lids, to pick the weight up. So maybe you start with the bar. Instead of this height, it starts a little bit higher and allows you to get into a good back position and work safely from there. All right? So that's the first 3 sets, just traditional deadlift. After that, the last 2 sets are going to be tempo Romanian deadlift. So Romanian deadlift looks like this. You pick it up first, stand tall, and now we're going to do 4 seconds on the way down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause for 2. Explode back to the top. Okay, so you're going to do that for 5 reps. Now the range of motion here depends on how flexible your hamstrings are. So if you get really tight about here, we don't want you to go below your knees if you have to round your back to get there. If you got really flexible hamstrings, I got decent hamstring flexibility, I'm able to push my hips back and get it pretty far, but I never want to actually touch the ground. I'm never resting on the ground. So if you have that flexibility, you're going to keep it just an inch off the ground. Don't bend the knees too much. Really feel that stretch in the hamstrings before you come back up. Okay, so again, for that, it's going to be 5 reps. Every rep is 4 seconds down, 2-second pause, explode to the top before you do your next rep. All right, that is the strength. Let's go to conditioning. All right, guys, fun conditioning today is a chipper style workout, 30 reps for every movement. It's going to start off with 30 wall balls, then go to 30 single arm overhead lunges, 30 deadlifts, 30 pull-ups, and then finish again with another set of wall balls. All right, so let's go through it. Wall balls. So main thing here we always tell people is get a good squat. All right, so adjust the weight if you need or how high you throw it, but you should prioritize getting a good deep squat every time. I always tell people to get a good deep squat and work on the wall ball. Look at your target, wherever that may be. So I'm going to go for the bottom line. I'm looking at the target. I'm supporting the weight the entire time. I don't want to ever look down and squat like this. Okay, it's a bad position to be in. The ball's not supported, so always look up. As you squat, use the legs. Be consistent with the target that you're hitting. Okay, 30 reps there. All right. From there, we're going to go to the single arm overhead lunge. So leg movement into leg movement. 15 on each side. So for the overhead, really focus on keeping that arm locked out, tight to the ear. You don't want that weight swinging out because what you're going to have to do is take a step back, tap the knee, stand back up, alternating legs. You can do 15 reps on one arm, then you're going to switch for 15 on the other arm. Okay, if you have any troubles with that overhead position, tight shoulders, you can just do this in that front rack position. So 30 total lunges, 15 each leg. From there, we're going to go to the deadlift. We just covered this in the strength portion. Here, these are going to be lighter and faster so that touch and go we talk about, keeping tension in the hamstrings. All right, same position as the strength we just did, except at the top, squeeze tight, tap and go, keeping that bar close to the body. You should be able to do a bigger set on this. Should feel light to do that, but focus on pushing the hips back, right? You don't want to drop down into the quads, okay? So 30 reps on the deadlift. From there, we go to 30 pull-ups. So your grip is going to be tired from those deadlifts. But again, choose a pull-up variation that feels good. You can do a few sets at once, of course, using a band, always a good scaling option. You can do just strict pulls if you have a lot of band help. Make sure you get that good range of motion. Okay, of course, you can also kip. We love to see people working on that new skill. More advanced athletes might be doing butterfly, and you can also do ring rows as well if you want. to work, and you can change the angle as needed for 30 pull-ups. After that, you go back to the wall ball for 30 more reps. Whole thing, 16-minute time cap. So have fun with this one, guys. See you tomorrow.